Alright, ladies and gentlemen, fresh new install of Full Self-Driving Beta 11.3.4. We got our normal route to my parents, and we're going to get it. So let's get going here and see if this thing is any better. First up, the ever confusing cul-de-sacs that have exits. I do like the new prompts up there that tells you what it's doing. It's kind of neat that everyone's already kind of pointed out. Also, I guess another thing to check is this road with no lines to see how well it adheres. So it is seeing this as a stop still. This is not a stop. I don't know why you see that as a stop. So we're still not good with the cul-de-sacs with exits. I guess seeing the reverse on my normal intersection that it used to screw up would be fun too. Now that was good there. Normally it kind of takes its half out of the middle on that turn. Oh, and there's a hard stop for no reason. So she's just gonna do her thing, Charlie. Just leave her be. You will hear my daughter in the back with her Minnie Mouse car running it all the time there. So I'm probably not going to be the most awesome of these videos, but I am going to be the most real for sure, because my routes typically suck. That was a hard stop. Alright, we're going to creep forward. And we should go now. We're pretty clear. Alright. I do like all of this is something that I actually said a while ago should be done and is done now. All of the stuff related to the driving task is in this top left corner where your eyes are easily drawn, which is nice. I do like that. That is awesome. So we got a 21-minute drive here. Thought we might have screwed this guy trying to get out, because...
Oh, no. Oh, it doesn't red light.
I didn't think we were going to pull this far forward. Alright. So let's see what we got here. I love that the guy behind me absolutely blocked this, that car that I was hoping to get past. It seems to be a lot more responsive to cars moving in front, like after a stop. That was kind of interesting. Like, it was with that car in front of me, where normally there's at least a little bit of a delay. Alright. Gonna turn coming up here. And again, we'll see how we do here. This has got... Okay, so we're going to obey the law like we should. Luckily there's no one behind me that will annoy, because again, in this town, people would have just driven straight through that double yellow to get to this turn lane. And we're at another light. It seems like I'm hitting all the lights so far. As usual, another gray, cloudy, light rain day here in Ohio. Alright, so it's waiting on this guy to go, so let's go. This route will have one of my challenging intersections in it. Yes, we're going to Grandma's, baby. So, I kind of hope we don't get the light and there is oncoming traffic, just to see how it behaves. Alright, now go. There we go. That wasn't too bad. That was acceptable. Accelerating after the person got out of the way in front. Coming up on this right turn up here, I typically have an unexplained slowdown, like a hard slowdown, like from like 40 to 35, like hard. I wouldn't mind it if it's like a gradual slowdown. Not this right turn, but the next one, I should say. So we'll see if that's changed at all. Survey says much better. Much better. Normally that's like a very herky-jerky, like I agree with it slowing down to take the curve, because it is a bit of a steep curve, but before it was kind of a really jerky forward slowdown, so that was good. That was very good. And a very natural stop, although we got this weird, we've turned the wheel rather oddly. My my watch blowing up with other folks picking up the beta in my Twitter timeline. Grats to everyone out there getting it. I hope this goes out to most of the fleet, because as you all know, I was extremely frustrated waiting on this, and with obviously no communication of what's going on with the rollout, why it inexplicably paused there for those few days, and now we have a new version on top of it. But it's out, and so now I can at least rejoice, and I hope all of you all get it very, very soon as well, if you do not have it already. Given the numbers on the rollout, and given that all the people that seem to be getting it were 10.x users and not 11.x users, I have to think, based on the numbers on TeslaScope, shout out to TeslaScope by the way, that, because I saw about 300 TeslaScope users either had it installed or were in line, and previously for 11.3.3, 600 and some users were, which works out to roughly, I think it was 25% of the fleet, was what we came out to. It was either 20 or 25, I can't remember. Half that number has rolled out now, so we've got to be, at least in this initial rollout of 11.3.4, got to have about 50%, nearing 50% of the fleet, somewhere between 40 and 50% for sure, with this pushed. So I feel for you if you did not get it in this push that just came out. You are just really unfortunate, and I have been there before too. I forget which, was it 11.12? Or I mean 10.12? Might have been 10.12, where I didn't get it until the final general rollout, which is just utterly frustrating when you're trying to make videos to show everybody the route that you have that's a pain in your butt, that hopefully there's improvement on. Now this will be interesting because, again, obviously this is the single stack software, and I have never had that on this car on the highway, so I'm curious to see how it behaves, because the lane change behavior for navigate on autopilot is still in the settings. Okay, car, we got a car behind us. Let's actually push the accelerator here. Let's go. That's a little slow off the line, and I do know I'm in assertive mode this time, by the way. There goes another gray Tesla Model S. I'm curious to see how it behaves when I do have lane change turned off for navigate on autopilot, because it was not good. So hopefully the full self-driving stack is better. Now I will have an anomaly on this drive, and I'm going to try to not touch this at all. But I will have an anomaly on this drive in there. There goes a Taycan. In that there's construction on my highway path that splits one lane off from the other two lanes, and normally, you know, you had 2 lanes going straight through. So we will see if the navigation picks up on this or not. Thus far, other than that, it was kind of herky-jerky on the right turn out of my allotment, and that slow start to accelerating out of the traffic light. Very smooth, very nice. I would say, using my buttometer, that it feels a little better than 10.69.25.2 did. All right, here's my intersection here that I was telling you that I hope we have traffic on, but I got a lead car, so this is probably not gonna be a good test, but we'll see. Depends on if this lead car gets some cojones and goes. Now, this is that is an improvement there. The car would not previously go forward into the intersection out of this. All right, go. Yep, go. All right. And I got the honk of anger from behind. That was good. So previously, at that specific intersection, this car would hard stop at the stop bar if there was a green light and it didn't feel like it could go. And I did have my foot on the accelerator down here because that guy behind me would have plowed into my butt end if the car had done that on that intersection. So good deal. He wasn't happy with the time I took to turn. He can get bent for that. But overall, not bad. Not bad at all. And technically, so far, even though we had the stops at the cul-de-sacs, this is a 0 intervention drive so far because I did not force the car to go at those cul-de-sacs, though if there were any traffic I would have, and if I was rating this on my full self-driving beta safety score, it absolutely would have been docked points for confusing any drivers that were around because there should have been no stops there. But that would have been 4 points of docking, 2 for each confusing act. So far, not terrible. I'm not sure how many miles I've driven on this trip, so I wouldn't know what kind of score that would end up resulting in. But 4 points is not terrible, and if we do get in the end a 0 intervention drive, a 0 intervention, that is a huge bonus on the score, even though I should have probably intervened. In fact, even though I should have intervened, I probably can't classify it that way if I were to safety score it because I should have intervened. But it definitely gets a 0 disengagement drive still, which is also bonus points. Because that means it didn't do something. All right, we're putting on a right turn signal for some weird reason here. That's not what I wanted the car to do at all because we're in the left lane. Well, middle lane, technically. But yeah, that means the car didn't do something so bad that I had to take full control away from it instead of just kind of giving it a nudge on the accelerator down there. So I do give it points for me not having to wrest complete control away from it. I feel like looking at the UI down here, I don't know, it feels like more detailed, like that I'm seeing. I don't know how to describe it. I did see that was good. So it saw that Jeep popping up there and it kind of slowed a little bit and then it realized there was no danger and then kept on going. That was very good because I have had it jam on the brakes seeing a vehicle do that before. I actually wish that we were turning right up here. My normal commute route, we would turn right up here because this right turn here sometimes is a bit problematic, as is the road that I end up, kind of the final road I end up going on toward getting to my daughter's daycare. We will get to see that next week, though. gonna ask for some input from the Peanut Gallery. Hey, Peanut Gallery, how have you felt about this drive so far? Has it been comfortable? Like, not? What do you think? Any different than I would have drove?
Not answering because you call me Peanut Gallery.
I truly, the people out there want your opinion. What do you think? Seriously.
It's been better than usual, let's say that.
Okay, that's good to hear. Our next problem point that we normally would run into on this specific drive is going to be when we go to turn onto the highway. We have an interesting on-ramp here because we're going to make a right, but the on-ramp shares the area with a normal street, so it's a kind of an extra wide street is what you end up with, but then you have a split that left goes to the highway and right is just a normal surface street. So you will see. Good job there, car. Nice. I like that slow. There's nothing wrong with that slow. That car did turn in front of us and we were at full speed, so it slowed, but it didn't, again, absolutely hammer the brake. And that's something that, flip a coin, it either would have hammered the brake or just kept going. And I'm not completely against the just keep going if the car knew that it wasn't, was going to make the that the car would be out of the way of the path at that point. When it's done that, I've never, like, if it did the just keep going, it might have been kind of a little close, I guess, like by several feet, like the car would have been out of the way when we passed through, but nothing I've ever intervened and stomped on the brake to stop from hitting a car, as long as the car kept doing what was expected of it. And maybe that's why they've kind of made that more of a, we're going to hit the a little bit of a brake, so that way in case the car does do something unanticipated that was turning in front of us, that we have more time to account for whatever weirdness they decided to do. All right, let's make this right here, and let's see. Normally the car, again, it's kind of a coin flip. It will either really get freaked out about this, and you're going to see the wheel go kind of nuts trying to figure out where it wants to be, or sometimes it does just nail it. And then sometimes the least occurring state that it ends up happening is it'll turn into the right lane, realizes it needs the left side, and dive to the left to make the highway. But that's only happened, that very rarely has happened. All right, so here we go. This guy behind me, is he gonna turn? I hope not, so that way I can just let this do its thing. He is not turning good, and that was smooth, good deal. All right, let's see how we accelerate onto the highway here. Let's see how we accelerate onto the highway here. Let's accelerate onto the highway here. We're still doing 35. There we go, now we're going 55, or we're gonna hit up to 55. All right, let's get over. Let's get over. Put your signal on and get over, car. We did not signal. Okay, so that would be a point against it for sure in the safety score if I were scoring it. Did not signal to get onto the highway. Fortunately, it was a decent merge, because when it has that lane runs out and is merging at the last second, usually it yanks when it does that. So next up, to follow the route, we're needing the middle lane here. And I'm not going to probably give it a chance to fail at this. Go ahead, car, you're good. Because if we don't do it right, hey, look at that. Well, actually, so that's good. So it's telling us it's changing lanes to stay out of the rightmost lane in a 3-lane highway, which is exactly what it should be doing. In a 3-lane highway, we want to travel in the middle. We want the right lane to be for oncoming and exiting traffic, and we want the left lane open for passing. Beautiful. That was beautiful. Now, what I do need to see, and hopefully I'll find out on my drive later today when I got some more driving to do, is in a 2-lane highway, it should not do that. It should stay the heck in the right lane, and it has done that to me several times where it tries to jump to the left lane, telling me I gotta stay out of the rightmost lane. All right, it's a little not happy about this construction, and all right, I gotta get on the accelerator here because it's gonna, yeah, changing lanes away from merge. I don't know what exactly happened there. It did not like that construction. 11 or 10.65.25.2 had no problem dealing with that construction. So I don't know if there's new things that they were training here that caused that to be a problem. But that is an absolute fail, and we had to intervene. So we do have a disengagement as well. So one disengagement. So far, so good. Still way better than normal, for certain. Next kind of problem area coming up is going to be this off-ramp that we're going to hit. This off-ramp is a coin flip on whether it decides to kind of slow hard and then really take it gingerly, like more gingerly than it should. All right, go ahead, car. Go ahead, get on in. All right, good job by my car, backing off, seeing the car coming into the lane. We're giving it the space, so nice job. So yeah, normally it's a coin flip on whether it hits this off-ramp, jams the brake, and then kind of acts really ginger taking it, or like literally just handling it perfectly. So let's see what we get out of this first attempt here. Signal is on. Pretty nice off ramp merge. Car is on the brake, but not hard. That was buttery. That was better than any of the even when it did it right, that was better. We should have a right signal here. We do. That is the best that this car has ever taken that maneuver. That is awesome. Good job. And that's about it for my problem spots. We're going to make a merge left here, and that's kind of going to be it. So we'll just finish this drive out and see if we see anything weird happen. If we don't have anything weird happen, kudos to, so the highway was the disengagement. Kudos, because there is no way I don't know that I had ever made this drive on the surface streets with 0 disengagements. So as long as nothing crazy happens in the next half mile, that was a very good first drive with this version of the software. Like an absolute improvement without question. Maybe even might pass the wife test. I don't know, Charlie, what do you think? Would Mom have been happy with that drive? Other than the weird bit on the highway there?
I'm not her.
Were you happy with the drive, other than the bit on the highway there?
He is.
Alright.
I've really been paying attention, though.
Well, that's good, though. It didn't yank you out of what you were doing so that you weren't paying attention. He's over here playing Pokemon Go. So, yeah. I'll take it. Got a bicyclist on the right here that the car picks up. Didn't get freaked out about because he was way off the road, so that's good. I have had that happen too, where it'll see a pedestrian or a bicycle previously, not remotely near the road, and really kind of wig out over it being there. So interesting how we're taking this turn. This is how I would take this turn. I don't know that that's how the car should necessarily take the turn. And I'm going to take over at the end here because we have reached our destination. I don't know how I felt about that last turn. There was nothing wrong with how it did it. That's literally how I would have taken that turn. Normally, on the previous versions of software, it's been all more about kind of taking a right angle into that turn, rather than kind of really cornering that. So that's it. One disengagement on the highway. Admittedly, because there was construction, that's a pretty successful first drive on version 11.3.4. I will absolutely take it. There's more that I'm gonna have, and actually, I'm gonna have a live impression of a longer drive that will probably go live on Twitter before this gets posted, just because of how things are gonna work out. But I appreciate you coming along with us. I hope you enjoyed the content there. Again, I have had, to kind of sum up things here, I've had plenty of difficulty in my locality with full self-driving being good at what it does. that drive there, if all my drives are going to be that good, all of a sudden it's really, really, really good in an area where it previously was not, which is awesome. So thanks for sticking with us, and I hope you enjoyed, and look out for more of these videos because I got more to come. So take care, guys.